Direct News TV. December 8, 2023. Palestinians detained by Israel in Gaza blindfolded, stripped to underwear. At least 100 Palestinian men detained by Israeli forces have been stripped to their underwear, blindfolded and made to kneel on a street in northern Gaza, according to images and videos widely circulated on social media and confirmed by the Israeli army. The men were shown with their heads bowed as they were guarded by Israeli troops in the undated video that first surfaced on Thursday, and that was drawn condemnation. Al Jazeera's Alan Fisher, reporting from occupied East Jerusalem, said on Friday that the images echoed the history of the region, where stripped men are taken to unknown locations. Many of the detainees were recognized by members in the community and family. Some say one was a student, one ran the local store and another one had no connection with terrorism, as he lived in an apartment block. A number of people identified a well-known local journalist among those who were arrested, according to Fisher, who added that one man was with his 2 children and all 3 of them were rounded up. Sean Jabrin, director of the Al-Haq human rights organization, said he was shocked to see images that reminded him of the treatment of detainees and prisoners of war during World War II. This is inhuman, it amounts to torture and more than that, it's a war crime and a crime against humanity, he told Al Jazeera. Israeli media reported that some of the images appeared to show suspected Hamas fighters who had surrendered to Israeli forces. The Euromed Human Rights Monitor said the men were arbitrarily arrested in the northern Gaza Strip after Israeli forces surrounded 2 shelters in the town of Beit Lahia for days. They were taken from the Khalifa bin Zayed and New Aleppo schools, both of which are affiliated with the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, the rights group said in a statement. Israeli military spokesperson Daniel Hagari was asked about the video but didn't address it directly, according to our correspondent, who added that another Israeli spokesperson has said they had no idea where the video came from. But if you look at the video, it is filmed from on the ground, and it is clear that it is someone who is within the area the Israelis are operating in, so it points to either someone from the Shin Bet, the Israeli intelligence service, or an Israeli soldier himself who has recorded it and released it, Fisher reported. Ahmed Badier, president of United Voices for America Civic Engagement Group, called the images horrific. This is a way to humiliate, this is a psychological warfare, designed to break the Palestinian people and tell them no place is safe, including shelters, he told Al Jazeera. According to Fisher, many of the men who were apprehended in and around Beit Lahia gave themselves up, were suspected of terrorism and were being taken to a facility in Israel to be interrogated. At the same time, around another 100 men were detained, and they have been taken to a special interrogation facility that has been set up in Gaza, he reported. The Al Arabi Al Jadid news outlet, also known as the New Arab, said its correspondent Dia Al Khalat was among those detained and had been taken to an unknown location. He, his brothers and other relatives were among dozens of men arrested, the New Arab said in a statement on its website, adding that the detainees were forced to strip and were searched before being taken to an unknown destination. The outlet called on the international community, journalists, rights defenders and watchdogs, and human rights bodies to denounce this ongoing assault committed by the Israeli occupation army against journalists since October 7, and exert efforts to ensure they are released from detention and protected. Violation of international law. On Friday, the Palestinian armed group Hamas condemned the stripping of the men and called on international human rights groups to investigate the incident. Stripping them of their clothes in a humiliating manner is a blatant Zionist crime to take revenge on our defenseless civilians as a result of the blows suffered by its soldiers and officers at the hands of Palestinian resistance men, Izzat al-Rishq, a Hamas official, said in a statement. We hold the occupation responsible for their lives and safety, and we call on all human rights and humanitarian institutions and organizations to intervene, the statement read. Fisher said, of course, it would be a violation of international law for prisoners of war to be treated this way and for pictures to be taken of them and then published. He added that more concerning for international aid groups and human rights organizations was that, it is entirely unclear where these men have been taken or what may actually happen to them. The images and videos were taken from the vantage point of Israeli troops, and one clip shows dozens of men sitting cross-legged in rows of 3 and 4 with their heads bowed in the middle of a wide street. One photo shows soldiers with assault rifles guarding dozens of men kneeling in a line alongside the wall of a building. Another photo shows detainees being lined up in an empty field. The last video appears to show detainees packed into the back of moving army trucks. Israel said it has detained and interrogated hundreds of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip and the occupied West Bank since Hamas's October 7 attacks in southern Israel. Those attacks prompted Israel to start a massive air and ground offensive on the enclave. More than 17,100 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since October 7, according to the authorities in the enclave. Israel said its death toll stands at about 1,150. My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.